full script, what American soldiers really ate in the Vietnam War. Opening music. You know, some memories stick with you forever. Not the bullets, not even the jungle, but the meals. Strange, right? I still remember the first time I opened an MCI in the field. The heat was brutal. We'd been humping through the bush for hours, soaked in sweat, leeches on our socks, our backs aching under 80 pounds of gear. Then, finally, the squad leader called for a halt. That meant one thing: time to eat. MCI, meal, combat, individual, brown cardboard box, heavy, smelled like metal and old crackers, but to us, it was gold. It meant you could sit down, breathe, and maybe, just maybe, have a hot meal in the middle of hell. There were 12 menus. You never knew what you'd get till you cracked it open. Could be beef stew, beans and franks, spaghetti with meat sauce, or if you had bad luck, ham and lima beans. The dreaded ham and emphas. Everybody hated that one. It was like opening a can of punishment. Each ration came with crackers, some cheese spread or peanut butter, a dessert like fruit cocktail or a chocolate bar. Accessory pack had instant coffee, matches, chewing gum, toilet paper, and cigarettes. Back then, they actually gave us smokes with our meals. Different world. Now here's the thing. MCI wasn't just food. It was a social system. A guy with fruit cocktail could trade for peanut butter. A cigarette could get you cheese spread. You'd hear, "I'll give you 2 lucky strikes for your beef stew." Deals went on like we were on Wall Street. We made markets out there. And sometimes someone would open a rare treasure, like turkey loaf or canned peaches. That guy, instant celebrity. You'd hear guys shout, "Hey man, I'll give you my whole pack for that dessert." That's how it worked. You ate what you liked, traded what you didn't, and joked about the rest. But man, the creativity? That's something else. I once saw a guy cook spaghetti on the engine block of a tank. Another used C4 not to blow anything up, but to heat his beans. Dangerous? Sure, but it worked. We'd make fires from little piles of twigs, warm the cans directly on top. One guy had a tiny makeshift stove made out of ammo cans. We called it the kitchen. Didn't matter what it tasted like. If it was hot, it felt like a 5-star meal. Meanwhile, the enemy, Viet Cong and NVA, they ate completely differently. No cans, no packaging, just rice balls, dried fish, fermented tofu, wrapped in banana leaves. Portable, quiet, light, smart. They could melt into the jungle with a whole day's food in their pocket. And us, we clanked around with metal cans, stinking up the jungle with beef stew steam. You think they didn't smell us from a mile away? But that's who we were. Big army, big food, big targets. But still, I remember sharing crackers under the rain, splitting a can of peaches with my buddy on watch. I remember the silence, just chewing, nobody talking, rain falling on our helmets. That's the stuff that sticks with you. I remember how coffee tasted when you hadn't slept in 30 hours. Bitter, weak, but it was warm. I remember lighting a cigarette with a shaking hand, looking out over the jungle, just hoping to make it home. Now, all these years later, I still think about those meals. Not because they were good, God, no, but because they reminded you that you were human. They gave you 10 minutes to stop thinking about dying, 10 minutes to just be a guy eating lunch. Ham and lima beans? Still awful, but they fed me when I needed it most. Ending music swells gently, visual fades to old photos of soldiers sharing meals. Thanks for listening to this story from the field. If it made you think, or maybe feel something, drop a like, subscribe, and share it with someone who remembers or wants to understand. Until next time, take care of yourself and be grateful for every warm meal you've got.